The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 879. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. You can now purchase The Tao of Self-Confidence, a guide to moving beyond trauma and awakening the leader within on Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, Walmart, Indigo, and other major book retailers. Get your copy today. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to The Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have an amazing lady on the show today. She is the CEO of MSL Global Express Inc., and I'm super excited to have her on today to share her story on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Ming Chen. Hi, Ming. How are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Thank you so much for having me, and it's a great pleasure to be on your podcast. For my day-to-day, I am working as a CEO of MSL Global Express. We are a logistics company here in East Long in New York, and we are doing freight forwarding for the last 35 years, and we are moving small, medium, large, oversized cargo by air, by truck, and by vessel. And I personally work for the same company for 15 years and started from scratch. And recently, I carried the torch from our chairman, Mr. Chester Tong. He has been my mentor, shaping me along this journey.
Congrats. That is amazing. As an Asian woman, being in a industry like logistics is not typical, and it's still very male dominated. And the fact that you're the CEO is awesome. So I just wanted to say congrats and thank you for paving the way for so many other Asian women to see what's possible. And, really grateful that we're also part of the US PacWise cohorts. We can get to know each other and super excited to meet in person. And Ming, what's your cultural background?
I was born and raised in a small city around like an hour and a half from Wuhan, and that's in China, in the middle side of the China. I came to upstate New York in 2006 as an international student, and I still remember when I first landed in Los Angeles, I was doing a lot of math, and we are counting like for a bottle of water is $1, it's like Chinese yuan around 10. And that was in 2006. And a bag of chips, that's $1.50. So it's around like 10 Chinese yuan. It was a lot of math back in the first couple years.
Thanks for sharing that. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
For me, it's going to be life is tough, but so are you. This quote for me is not just a string of words. It's a source of motivation and courage. And for me, it's a companion. It's more like a friend for me of the life's up and downs. It's reminding me that I'm not defined by any challenge I face, but rather by my ability to stand tall and stand still. I was in a travel for 40 days in Asia, and I was in one of the conference in Shanghai. And when I shared my name card to one of the fellow forwarders, the first reaction was, "You look too young and too girly for a CEO of a freight forwarding." I think I got that a lot, but it doesn't really frighten me in a way or anything, because it's more like a guiding force pushing me going forward, and also it's helping me to build my self-confidence and a belief that no matter what, my inner strength is strong enough for me to be counted.
I love that. And thanks for sharing that. And it's so true. Sometimes, like most of the time, life is tough and we're going to go through challenges, but we are a lot tougher. We can push through it. We can show up as our best self. It builds us confidence and courage to be the person that we're meant to be. So I'm glad you're able to share that quote. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
I will define self-confidence as you gotta be comfortable for who you are and be your own cheerleader. Being Asian and also being an Asian woman, we are so used to be quiet and not to boast what we have been achieved. We are trained to be modest and to be humble. For me, I'm always questioning if I'm underdoing it or overdoing it. It's like you never get a balance on how to be confident, but not too much. And Sheena, I have to add that I find it's really meaningful for you to talk to me for the topics we are talking about. It's more like a wake-up call for me. because many times we are so buried and so dig into the day-to-day life, we never have take a pause to think what I have been going through, what we have been achieved. But we need to wake up ourselves once a while so that we can count on what we have been doing. And the only person who is going to do it is yourself. You got to pat yourself in the shoulder and also to be the cheerleader for your achievements.
I love that. And thanks for sharing that. And it's so true. As Asian women, we're not told to share our achievements, or self-promotion is something that's seen as tacky for women, especially. But it's important for us to share our achievements, to promote ourselves, to show others what's possible, or else, the current and future generations might not think it's possible for them. So thanks for sharing that great definition. And Ming, what was your life like before you discovered self-confidence?
For many years, I have been struggling to understand and also to grasp the essence of self-confidence. I don't think I'm alone in this, most likely, because when I was in the teenager years, I find myself more comfortable being mediocre because I don't want to be like I don't want to be. I usually is not the top achiever in school academically, and I'm not the one who is making a lot of troubles in class. So I think I'm so comfortable being not noticeable. I feel like it's better for me to lurking in the shadow or even find some solace in being unnoticed. But career-wise, for today, if your job is so replaceable and you are so unnoticeable, it's easily you will be taken away from your position. So for this journey, I realize everyone is so unique that you need to make sure people see that in you. And for doing that, you need to start with having faith in yourself.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think we all go through that, right? We all just want to blend in instead of stand out, especially coming to America and Canada when, we're not the majority, right? It's a lot harder to kind of show up as our best self because we just want to assimilate to Western culture. But, what was that point in your life when you realized you were more than enough to go out there, especially being a CEO of a logistics company? I mean, if you look at the stats, there's not a lot of women, let alone Asian women, who are CEOs of big logistic companies. What was that aha moment that made you realize you were more than enough to be the person that you are today?
I think for me, the aha moment is actually the time being like the year 2023 when I am the torchbearer of the legacy. And I think still in the time of being the aha moment because I've been inherited the responsibility of carrying forward our company. But I still have to realize that I need to get the best out of my potential to achieve beyond the limits I set on my own. And also I have to see that this journey is definitely going to be alone. Nobody can lift you up or maybe people can drag you down. So you need to be the person who realize that like to accomplish yourself, like, oh, you are doing so far so great. So don't worry about it too much.
Thanks for sharing that. And because of what happened, because of your realization, what's your life been like now?
Well, I'm still not gonna be saying that I'm gonna be the rising star of a conference or anything, but my strength is lying in soft communication. Also, I'd love to share my knowledge openly. I don't hide it from anyone else, and I'm really glad to assisting anybody in any way. I don't feel intimidated by competition or anything. And I'm sure that there is a part of me always setting up a very clear goal. And I welcome suggestions, comments, and constructive comments, of course. And I anticipate the setbacks. I know there will be time that I may not be able to achieve a certain mission, and I'm fine with it. And also, there will always be times that we regret the choices we made back in the days, like 10 years before, that what if we did something different? So it's okay for you to make some mistakes, but we still have to be focused on our goals. And also, I'm pretty confident that success for me is just a matter of time, and I will let my actions to speak for themselves.
Thanks for sharing that. And I love that you mentioned, like, you anticipate the setbacks, right? Not that we expect them, but we know that happens, right? Especially when you're in a position like being a CEO of a logistics company or running your own business or being in a high position in corporate America, there's going to be setbacks that's going to happen. It's just part of life. But instead of thinking like, oh, why did this happen to us? It's a learning lesson to move forward, to learn from it and build that confidence and courage again. And, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
I will say for women, it's so inevitable that you will be judged. When you go to any rooms, your hair, your nails, your clothing will always be judged. So being a female leader and being a female itself, sometimes it's just wasting time to be offended and also to make arguments, focusing on yourself, because the time you spend on the other stuff doesn't come back again. So using the time wisely. And through this journey, even though you may get criticism sometimes, and you will accumulate yourself by a lot of self-confidence because you are making small accomplishments and you are maintaining on your target. So steadily progressing along the way. Don't get distracted and also stay on focus. We will get there.
Thanks for sharing that great tip. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we could connect with?
Yes, we can find ourselves through our website and also our LinkedIn.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Ming, you can also head on over to thetowofselfconfidence.com and search for Ming's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I just really want to thank Ming today for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you again, Ming.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. It's such an honor to have you on the show. And thank you again for paving the way for so many Asian women and beyond to see what's possible for themselves. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. You can order your copy of Asian Women Who Boss Up book by visiting our website at thetowofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.